All right, guys. Got Coach Robert Valdez, the head coach of St. James, state champs in 19. They lost out in the quarterfinals this year. An overall win record of 120 to 52 losses. Made it to the semifinals 5 times. He was a state runner-up 1 year. And he's going to talk to us today about a little bit of inside zone. Coach, whenever you're ready, take it away.
I'm ready. So I guess you got to share the screen or
Oh, yes, sir. You can share your screen.
okay. Let me see.
You should be able to, Coach.
I got it.
You go. Awesome.
Yeah, that's part of it. Let me go to the Wi-Fi here and go into, like I said, learning. The technology part is something that and I did this. Like I said, John should be happy because I'm getting a little bit better with this. All right, pop up here in a second. All right, so hello everybody, and Coach Stewart, thank you for having me, man. I listen. Anytime there's a chance to talk some
Coach.
football, learn something, I'm excited. So we talk about, we have a theme every year, and our theme this year is compete. And basically it's the same thing that I'll share with my offensive linemen and whatnot. So want to make sure that we get after we compete. The Fat Boys, I'm a head coach. But I'm the offensive line. I'm the offensive line coach, and we like to call ourselves pretty hot and tempting. That's what the Fat Boy stands for. So we're not FAT, we're PHAT, and give the kids a little ownership and all that. If you can read it, this is a little poem that we talk about. The Hard Knocks is just a little thing that I found, and I like to tweak things to my guys. I like to tweak things to make it fit our guys, and basically about how nobody really cares about what we do, and we don't get any of the credit. But at the end, all we can do is just look at each other and laugh, and love pancakes and things like that. And blocking is what makes us happy. Um, here about us, and then I'll start off with offensive line stuff, and I'll move on to inside zone because that's basically how I progress it. With feet slightly wider than our shoulders, you know, weight on the inseam of our feet, power and control inside of knees and mid groin, toes slightly facing out with a Z bend in the knees, flat back heads up, off arm outside kneecap. The guards are, for me, I like guards. I'm old school a little bit. I like our guards in the 4 point stance. Yes, we can pass block in a 4 point stance, but I still like to get them down there. I like to get their hips low, so they can basically have a good come off the ball. Tackles and tight ends, 3 point stance. I don't believe in staggering our feet. We're even stance, and I'll explain what that means in a little bit. Why we don't stagger our feet. Um, 2 foot splits. We have 3 levels of depth, which I like to play with the depth based on who we're playing. So if we up, that means we're as close to the ball as possible. This is used when we're playing bigger bodies. We want to hurry up, get engaged, and try to get as much movement as possible against guys that may not move well. We set back. We take the top of the helmets even with the center's hips. I will go further if it were legal. This is for quicker slanting teams, which give us an opportunity to be able to catch people in movement. But our normal depth is normal, which is our toes on the heels of the center for everybody, and we're even across the board with that. This right here is an example of pad leverage. This is what I look for. If we can get our hands inside, if we can get our elbows inside, I believe in teaching a lift technique, and then we're able to drive and get movement like that. And that way, once we get our hands inside, we can control the defender. If we can get a guy to stand up, get his arms outside of our shoulder pads, then we've done our part, and now it becomes fighting right now. We used to tug of war right at that point. All right, power joints, we want to generate force from the following: our lower body, from our ankles, our knees, and our hips, and our upper body, our wrists, elbows, and shoulders. If we get all these six parts moving together and we can be explosive, we can move bodies. People still we don't talk about moving bodies, but we try. Sometimes we don't, but the goal is to move bodies. If we get all these 6 points working the same, we get it done. Um, Now, inside zone rules are backside wide, and this is could be wide tight end or a full backward split zone. You'll see it on film. So his job is to cut off number three. Backside tackle, I believe in the number system, so it doesn't matter what defensive front you're in. We use the number system to help us. Backside tackle cuts off number two. Backside guard cuts off -1, -1, -2, -3. Center drives is number zero. Play side guard drives number one. Play side tackle drives number two. Play side tight end or fullback, if we make a stay call, drives number three. And then we alert combo blocks when uncovered. And then, we do have communications with what we're doing. The running back point of attack, the point of attack for the back is the inside leg of the play side guard. We want to bang it. We want to bend it or bounce it. We want to bang the A gap when we get a good push. So if we get some good movement, guys coming off the ball, we want to bang the A gap play side. We want to bend the opposite A gap if the play side is cloudy. So if the back is on his track towards that inside leg of the guard, it looks a little cloudy, he looks immediately to cut it back. And then we bounce it out when in doubt. So if it's cloudy at all, we bounce it out, take it to the outside, and use our athleticism because they got to be good to be back there. Double team line calls, basic ace is a center, and play side guard call. A deuce is a play side guard, and a tackle. Double team call. A tray is a tight end. Play side tackle and tight end, and a Sally. Everybody makes is a scoop backside. We're a scoop backside team. And before we get to some plays, I think we got some cut-ups after this one. I'm gonna go over the line blocking rules versus multiple fronts as to how we identify them. So let me minimize this and then go to, all right. Everybody sees the diagram, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we don't try to make it complicated. We call the fronts just how we read from left to right. So it may not be everybody's way, but this is how we do it. So therefore, whenever we get a one and a three, we call it 13. So we like identified as 13. So everybody draws the play right. That's one thing I've always told my coaches and make a big pet peeve. Start drawing your plays and design them left because everybody you talk to, they get on the board, they're designed to play to the right. Every clinic I've been to, every play has been drawn to the right. So I've just made a pet peeve of mine. I just do it to the left, just for my personal, I guess, satisfaction. But not. So right now, this would be an inside zone going to the left. We're running inside zone going left here. So right now, rules apply. We're never blocking backside number three. That would be for a tight end or it would be for a fullback on split zone. So therefore, all our rules stay consistent. So if we're going left with it here, the backside tackle, he's coming off, cutting off number two. Now our rules is uncovered. If you're uncovered, then you call it double team. So right now we were double team -2 to -1 on the backside. If we were going with our Lipton zone left call, all right, so -2, -1, that would be for the backside tackle, backside guard. All right, so therefore center would have 0 to 1. So center and guard would have 0 to play side 1. Tackle right now would have a single with number 2. And so therefore that it doesn't matter at that point. And this is how we do from day one. This is what we start teaching next week when we start having kids in P. This is our rule assignments for inside zone. And then if you change the front with a 3 and a 1, and some people say over under and all that. I'm not that smart. We call it 31. So we get a 3 and a 1. So therefore, the rules, the numbers don't really change. So the backside ends -3. Your will now is -2. Your shade or your one tech is -1. So now this tackle knows that he's got a solo block on -2. The guard now is going to combo -1 with the center to 0. The play side guard has a solo block on 1. Play side tackle has a solo block on 2. And it doesn't matter. We identified 3-4 two different type of ways. 3-4 regular with 5s, 3-4 tight with 2-4 eyes. And so we counted the same way. We just identify who are the guys that we're trying to get to. When you talk about blocking inside zone, you're really talking about blocking 5 gaps. you're talking about blocking five gaps. So if you can identify the five gaps, now understand that these people will move, and that's where your practice time come in, and that's where your combos and your eye discipline and your forehands and four eyes, all those things go in place. We're not talking all the fine details of the techniques, but we're talking about identifying guys. So at least we know exactly where it is that we're trying to get to on our blocking scheme. So against this 34 front, 3-4 front, we've identified it -2, -1, 0, and we call it. Now, when they go tight right here, it changes a little bit because, like I said, this has become a neutralizer of zone teams. People are starting to go with backside four eyes to eliminate that cutback and entertain a combo. Because really, what you're doing is you're trying to free up a linebacker. Most teams, when they do this, they're trying to free up a linebacker. And then the onus of responsibility is on how athletic your backside tackle is. Can that backside tackle be able to rip inside of that four eye? And if that four eye is, if he's a penetrator type of guy, a guy that's upfield, you can get it done. If he's a dual gap type of guy, it'll be a little bit more difficult. Then you're looking at running possibly some outside zone because you may not be able to get up to that backer. They're protecting that Mike linebacker with that four eye. They're protecting the backers when they do that. So those are some things that teams will do. You have to be able to have some other things to go off. If you're just exclusive inside zone run team, then your lineman just gonna have to just be powerful enough to gut those guys out and get you 3 to 5 yards. 3-3 stack, which has been very, very prevalent. We'll label the tackle as number two. We know they're gonna move, but we don't know if this guy's gonna slant in the B gap and Sam is gonna slant in the C gap. We don't know that. So in this situation all week, we're working on our flat steps and and if we're playing a team like this, we're consistent with our rules. We'll back the offensive line up and allow them to be able to move in space while we're moving our feet. So we'll just continue. This is -2, -3. And the guys understand their assignments and then double ones and double twos right here stacked. We know we're going to get movement. I tell the guys, anytime you're getting any type of defense where you have head up guys, or odd fronts, there's going to be some type of movement. That's why we have to identify where we're going with that. And then therefore, like I said, bear, you can still run inside zone on bear. The numbers are there. The burden of responsibility again, how coached up and how athletic is your backside tackle going to be able to gut that number -2 out? Because right here you're going to single block the two, single block the one. The combo is going to be with the center and the guard up 0 to -1. Wherever they move, because if this guy slants over here, he becomes 0, he becomes -1, or vice versa. All right, so this is the big block. Then the bigger block is going to be with that tackle, or how you're going to handle that. And then we go to some clips on some of the things that we did. Some of them we did well. Now we are a basic wingback type team with big split zone. We're believe in big split zone. So therefore, we are actually taking away 6 gaps because the fullback over here, or the tight end, however you want to identify them or use them, it actually is coming backside on split zone. And we do different things. If we feel that we're not going to be able to get that guy backside, we'll just make a stay call and he stays play side. Now the back knows that he's going to bang it or he's going to bounce it. So right here, like I said, this is what we consider a 34 type front. I think those guys are four eyes. You got those 2 walk up linebackers and whatnot. We have to be able to run the ball. All right, so we get a great push. We get a great come off by the backside tackle here. And we're going to the right. We're running inside zone to the right. The fullback hat placement needs to get better, but we have a wall here. The back is tracking the inside leg of the guard. He's tracking the inside leg of the guard. So right now it doesn't look like it's open. So he's looking to cut it back to the backside A gap. That backside guard did a great job of knocking the nose off, and we're looking to bang it. We don't want to cut in the backfield. So he's getting the ball right there. We have great movement. If we have great movement, we're looking to bang that and then just try to get as vertical as possible. You'll see him on film. We try to get back to the middle of the field as much as possible when we're running inside zone. Because like I said, the quickest way is north to south, not side to side. We call it from the huddle, so it becomes a check with me, but sometimes we just got to you have to be good at your base. All right. So right now we get a great push up the middle. There's the backside A gap cutback. So he's looking to bang it. He's looking to bang it. All right, it gets a little cloudy. The backside linebacker overplays it. Then there's the cutback. So that's like I said, that's the bend. So we call that bang to bend. So he's banging it, he's bending it, and then get back north to south as fast as possible. Get back north to south. Try not to go side to side. Try to stay on that north to south track.
The quarterback faking right there, coach.
The quarterback really is supposed to just carry out. He's supposed to make the flat defender take him.
Yeah, I like the way he did it. He did a good job, I thought.
Yeah. That's his responsibility because he's basically widening the defense, and we got to get better at it. But what happens with his fake, he's going to hold this guy and maintain him outside. All right, and then everybody's got to be able to do their job. Got to be able to block, and got to get it done. We got a lot of youngsters that played last year that hopefully they'll do better for us this year on the skill position wise. But like I said, you're not gonna get a home run every play, but it's like a dive. You're gonna want to get inside and then just get as many yards as you can. And so, like I said, that right there has become. Got a couple other clips here. This is a clip of when he bounces it. When it looks inside, it looks cloudy. You can't bang it. You can't bend it. Then be an athlete because he's not back there because he's a good kid. He's back there because he's special. And so therefore, right there, he doesn't see it. He bounces it. He doesn't see it. The linemen were a little bit slow, but he's not. We're not going to try to get a negative play. Bam! He bounces it. You got to just be a football player at that time. When you bounce it, you just basically the defense is collapsed inside. Now you just got to be an athlete. So we bang, we bend, we bounce. And like I said, right here we go. It's cover zero, but you got to be able to just run the ball. We got to be able to run the ball. We get a pretty decent push, and he's banging it. He is banging it. We want to bang it. If we can bang it, he's banging it. So right now, bam, he's banging it right there. It becomes similar to a dive at that moment in time. When we get inside here, right now, center made the wrong call. My center went the wrong way, but hey, you know what? Initially, my center's supposed to go right. Center's supposed to go right. He got a bit confused because he was confused over here and he saw the free safety. So he thought the free safety was going to be an extra backer. But you know what? Guys got to run over somebody at some point. And so like I said, and that's what we do. And this is what's most encouraging. This is one of our young kids, sophomore, and bam, great cut. Right there, he identifies it. We drill it a lot. He is chasing the inside leg of the guard. He's chasing the inside leg of the guard. Bam, the guard knocks the guy off. Now, my right guard was 360 pounds. Didn't move well, but if he got his hands on you, it's trouble. But so therefore, right there, he makes a cut back and get vertical upfield. We have a couple other clips against. This is for the district championship against Ed White. Now we can change the picture a little bit. Now we come out a different formation with shotgun with two backs, but we're still doing the same thing. Still split zone. Fullback has the end man on line of scrimmage weak, and nothing really changes. Bam, here goes the fullback trying to take away. Right here, the running back eye discipline has to be good. He sees the quarterback right now messed up with a handoff. He gets a minus on that. The handoff wasn't clean. It wasn't clean, and he's watching the play right there. He owes me $8. All right, so fight, get what you can get out of there right there. And that's our bread and butter play. That is our bread and butter play. Now we get a little bit of window dressing. We come with a jet sweep, try to identify what they're doing, bam, and then we want to hang it up inside. Now, this is still inside zone, guys. It looks like pull scheme, but it's still inside zone. We just replace bodies. All right, so we replace assignments. The center blocks back, the tackle blocks back, and we replace with the guard and the fullback, and basically run a nice.
Hey, Graham. Hey, brother. I know, right? It's been busy. No, I can help you.
All right. So that's what we have with that.
Okay.
One is that drive.
And we just want to go north and south. We just want to go north and south.
The other one is the desktop sync.
And like I said, you can add different things to it. You can add different
What's the
bells.
def-
This
what's
is
the
this year. This is the kids we
time?
had this past season.
It's because I keep flip flopping. My
Coach, you tag that when you want that guard to pull?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll
Okay.
tag it, and we'll make a tag call on that.
Okay.
most of it,
Basically, it's simple. We just call it gut,
Mhm.
and we just gut it. So we'll call the zone and we'll gut it, and then when we're seeing that we having, so like Ed White was doing doing some games.
All right, we'll
We
work on
thought that if we can catch him in games, that it'll be a big play. So right now you see him twisting, and all they're trying to do is just
Yeah,
trying to
it's-
confuse your blocking
That's
scheme.
the drive, or is it
Yeah.
the mailbox?
My tackle over here
Yeah,
does
yeah,
a
yeah.
great job. My left tackle does a great
I know
job of
we have-
identifying it and falling back. And so yeah, we'll do that. And like I said, our goal is to get 3 to 5 yards and
Yeah,
keep getting
the-
first downs. And so we will, in certain situations, do tag it when we need to do that.
The
But you
desktop.
this creates an identity, and you got to have an identity. We want to be physical. We don't want to be
go up to the top.
recognized as a team that's not
Hey,
physical with the run game.
Eddie, can you mute your phone?
Okay, we good?
Yeah, Eddie was cutting in with your phone. It was
Okay.
make sure we could hear you, Coach.
All right, we good. So again, here we go. Bare front, double mark linebackers, and just challenge our kids. Say, hey man, understand your rules. Understand your rules. So the kid sees it. He sees it right now. All week we practice. Hey man, you're gonna have to hit it and bounce it. Hit it and bounce it. Bam. You hit it and bounce it. We get to the outside, and it converts. It converts to a big play for us. But it becomes an identity. My receiver coaches, if they're on here, they get mad at me because this guy's uncovered, but the head coach is a bit stubborn sometimes, and we still gonna run the inside zone right here, man, and try to get that done. I think see, and then we get inside the goal line. It's just bam, let's get a push. Let's get a push. But the guys must identify their keys. Once they identify their keys, then it becomes a situation whereas we just got to rep it. My left tackle, this is what we talk about with those 4 eyes and what teams try to do, especially 4 eyes with double mark linebackers. This tackle's really got to do a good job of getting that guy. He's got to get there. It's hard. It's not easy. And then he didn't step with his right foot, but he should have. But we got a hat on the hat, and we're able to get a wall. And in that situation, like I said, that's kind of what we need. And like I said, that's our base play. And then we just practice it and we rep it. We rep it against multiple fronts. We do a couple of different things. There's the cutback. Now running backs, once they learn defenses, then they're going to become a lot better because right now this kid sees it and he's understanding that potentially this is going to have to cut back. So we get a good push. That tackle does a good job of taking that 4-eye. We're getting a real good push right here. Bam, there's a cutback. And then what he does, and he did a great job, is try as best you can to get back vertical.
Looks like I'll foot to foot again right there, huh, Coach?
What's that, sir?
I'll foot to foot again.
Yeah, we do. Like we do. Like I said, we will go foot to foot. We'll open up. And here's the thing: if we feel that we can match up athletically, we'll go to our regular splits, and we'll go to our regular alignment. If we just feel like you probably got some dudes, and we got to come in and make it. I call it turn it into a fight in the phone booth. We want to get in the phone booth and get the fighting in the phone booth. And so when we collapse it and condense it, we just want we want to see who's tough, who can get a movement, who can stop, who can get penetration. And believe it or not, it opens up quicker lanes. So it's a quicker read.
Okay.
It becomes a quicker read. This year we didn't have the overall athleticism that I would want along the line. So therefore, some of the big guys, had struggled a little bit working up the second level. So we
Down when
we
you're
just tightened it down. We just tightened it down, and we let the
I like
running back be special. Let the running back want bam. He sees it right there. Be special and get back vertical. This kid he's a junior, so hopefully, but he did a good job of understanding how to get back vertical instead of just going sideways. Get back vertical, you know. And like I said, that's something that we work on, and like I said, and then we'll go down to 1 foot split, man. We'll get in there and bring that fight real close and get in the close confines. Um, now Now this is a changeup. This was a changeup. Like I said, if that tackle, is quick enough to get to that backer and beat that four out of his stance, then Wood basically trapped the four. Wood trapped the four. Wood trapped the four with the back coming. Bam. And so now we really have a hat on everybody. And this is the flat defender. He's got to be a football player, but that's not what he really wants to do. So we just our inside zone is more or less to get north and south. We really want to take away and bang those A gaps. That's what we want to do. There you go again. We were able to beat the defensive end inside. We were able to beat him. That outside guy, he's beat by just normal alignment. And so backs got to be they got to be physical. We got to get north and south. We got to get physical. Like I said, any questions? If you have any questions, and that's we do some RPO stuff off of it. If we start seeing that, you're starting to bring in extra people that we can't block, we'll bring in some things like that. And but the biggest thing for us is we want to be able to have something that we can hang our hat on that we do well. And the inside zone has been able to give us that ability. And the things, like I said, we were pretty good. Not as we have a lot of work to do to get better at it. But then being able to do that, if you look at the breakdown of what we did last year, we were more a 60% run to 40% pass ratio team. But it just makes you have to declare. It helps with physicality. It helps with attitude. And it just, you got to have that, moving forward to compete. And that's one of the things that we talk about a lot. And so I tell the guys, we have to be able to run inside zone. We have to be able to run it. We complement it with other plays, but inside zone.
What do y'all like to complement it with, Coach?
We complement it with outside zone. We do an outside zone, which changes the path. Now the back's aiming point now becomes the outside leg of the end man on line of scrimmage.
Okay.
The difference is that we're not necessarily trying to reach you. We're basically logging and allowing your pursuit to dictate now. So the back read now, he's reading the end man. If that end man can get a hook, he's going to stay on an outside track.
Yes.
If that end man is kind of getting beat and the guy's over the top, then he's going to press it as far as he can to stretch the play and then look to cut it back and hit one of those seams. Like I said, so outside zone is that. Last year we did tamper with the duo play, the dive, basically for you dive people and all that, and we were able to get some mileage off of that. So we have them in zone families. So our zone families are inside zone, our dives, and our outside zone, and then we didn't do a good job last year on our gap schemes. We didn't move well at the guards. We had great guards that didn't move.
I noticed you block a couple different ways with your inside zone.
Yeah.
You have just different tags that you built into that concept that kind of make it a different play, like your ISO you ran and your trap.
Yeah, we do. It gets a little crazy because I get exotic with my blocking scheme a little bit, but yeah, we'll do different things. If you have a dominant defensive end that we feel is really good, I don't want him taking a cheap shot on my quarterback or on my fullback, so we'll lock it. We'll lock him and then basically we'll come up and then split zone the linebacker.
So you'll base them with your tackle, with your lock in?
Right, we're basing with the tackle, and then we'll just replace it with the split back coming up to the linebacker. We once again, if we can always send the back, the split back up to the linebacker, or we'll pull a guard around. It looks like power, but it's really not power. It's just we just change assignments. We change assignments. So if you're giving me a split 40 look, split 40 look without any movement, or if we catch you in a tendency that you're slanting field, then we'll send that center on that shade and we'll talk that what cat that guard and just give us another play. But it's the same principles, we just switch responsibilities. And it looks like a different play and we give you a different thing, and then guys, they're arguing in a meeting because like, no, this is two different plays. It's just a tag. It just become a tag. And so we've gotten good with tagging plays and tagging things to it to make it look a little bit different. But it's just something that we do. Somebody asked some questions.
Yep.
Are your RPOs pre-snap determined of the defensive alignment, or do you trust your quarterback with strictly post-snap? Well, Coach Washington is on here, but we have pre-snap. We have pre-snap reads. We have built them pre-snap reads based on the defensive leverage and basically how you're playing. If you're playing off, if you're playing tight to the box, we have some pre-snap. And then, but our RPOs are called. We don't allow him to just manually do it on his own. No, they're called. They're called RPOs basically to displace. We're looking to displace a flat defender or safety mostly. I think that's.
Coach, I noticed on your bubble, you do the turn back bubble. Is there a specific? I'm kind of. We're going to be dabbling in some quick screens this year, and that's one of the things I want to make a decision on here shortly is how we run our bubble screen.
It becomes basically, to be honest with you, when we do our zone read, it becomes triple option. It becomes a triple option, and it looks like what we're trying to do is make the easiest throw as possible for a moving quarterback. So therefore, we'll either fade the outside guy or stalk him. And then therefore, if we're zoning and we're reading the end man on the line of scrimmage, she comes down to collapse on the zone, the quarterback eyes immediately go to the flat defender. So most of the times, if they're not disciplined and they open up to the bubble and try to midpoint it, then that window becomes a lot larger. So basically, we're looking at how well are you going to maintain your discipline? How you're going to make sure that if you stay there, then we've opened the box up also, because that guy cannot come inside and be an extra run fit.
Yes.
If he does start cheating inside and we're getting that safety up a little bit, then we can start looking at some RPOs off of that right there. But defense right now is just, we're just trying to make sure that we identify how many people you have in the box. It becomes a numbers game. Anytime we have 5, we feel like we're good. We can run with 5. 5 is our magic number. 5 in the box, we would take our chances. Anything more than, like I said, I get stubborn at times because I want my kids to have that physicality. I want my kids to have, that edge, and, we challenge them, to be physical. So sometimes we'll run that thing against a 6-man box and or maybe a 7, and then Bags just got to run over somebody.
Coaches, anybody y'all got any questions for Coach?
Coach Washington, I'm disappointed. Coach, you didn't ask a question. I see you logged.
I wanted to chime in when you mentioned the uncovered receiver, but I left it alone.
You got it. Go ahead on. Talk to us.
No, we good. We good.
Coach Washington is my receivers coach, and receivers and quarterback, and so we have different lifestyles. He's good looking. I'm not. He dressed well. I don't. I like to pound, smash, and dash. He likes to open it up. So you can expound on that.
No, that's good. That's good information. Just glad to be a part.
We just, this year we're going to look to get the ball to our athletes a little bit more. And so therefore, we're really excited about the guys that we have coming back offensively, the young guys, because, we only lost 2 senior skill guys. So, and a good quarterback and running back were first-year starters for us last year. So, like I said, we replaced a lot defensively, but offensively, I'm excited to see how we progress.
Awesome. Well, Coach, I thank you for doing the presentation. We'll stay on and talk a little bit more, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording right here.
You good? You good?